Do you like bodies clipping on the floor? Or climbing vines with a touch of a button in VR? Well, I've got the game for you. But in all seriousness, guys, don't buy Hitman 3 VR Reloaded. It's not made for the Hitman fans, it's not made for the VR enthusiasts, and it's definitely not made for the new VR comers. And let me tell you why. So since the announcement of the game, I felt like there's been red flags all over the place. But like many others, I always give these types of things the benefit of the doubt, because you never know. But oh boy. The announcement of the game was made on June 4th of this year, and we've received the first trailer in parallel. The trailer is mostly cinematic, until you see a glimpse of the gameplay at the end for a few seconds, which really felt kind of rough. The second trailer came out and I had a live reaction to it. Yes, gameplay, let's go. I love the music.
Your choices.
Banana. Yes, they have the
Your
banana.
weapon.
The cell shading looks really nice.
Go in. Thing.
The duck,
Here's
nice,
a weapon.
nice. Guys, that was awesome. I was worried about the section where there was a lot of people, right? In the, like at the party. But it looks good. It honestly looked very good and helped me ease up on my worries then. But then there were other things. Matt from BMF VR interviewed the developers, and there's one little thing that stood out to me. The devs has mentioned that it took them a whole year to make the engine work on the MetaQuest. Porting a game, or at least to make it work with the engine, shouldn't take a whole year. This is such a big resource taking out of their development time. I was thinking, if it took a whole year to do that, the rest was probably a nightmare. But that's just assumptions, of course. Next up, the handling of the marketing of the game was weirdly handled. Only a selected few was chosen to get the game in early access. I've had 3 sources that I've contacted to request access, but all 3 completely ghosted me. I'm not saying that I should be entitled to have access as I'm a small content creator after all, but I'm saying that they should at least get back to me and tell me why I'm not qualified for their product. Like literally any other PR that I've contacted in the past. There's also some NDA stuff that happened in the back that I can't talk about, but the marketing was definitely weirdly handled. Now this definitely made me curious, so I had to buy the game day one. And my gosh, I did not expect it to be this bad. Where do I start? First, if you thought that this was a more VR immersive version of the game compared to the PC or PSVR version, it isn't. Everything in the game has a button prompt, instead of actually doing the gesture. The immersive things added are pretty much the same as the PSVR version, like the strangulation for example. But things like lockpicking and crowbar for doors or turning on the sink to distract people, yeah, that's just a button press. Climbable places are so disappointing. You just press a button and it automatically climbs for you. Not only that, but for some reason, the screen blinks when you start the climbing and when it ends. Completely immersion breaking. You do have the option to climb using immersive controls, but they feel poorly implemented. They're not responsive and your hands disappear. Vaulting is especially really bad. And the graphics, dear lord. You know, I'm actually a sucker for cel-shaded graphics. It's just visually appealing to me. But wow, the code applied to this game is amazingly bad. We see a lot of flat textures, and the game is really fuzzy. Good luck seeing some of the people from a distance, and the frame rate of anything in the distance is extremely low. Some objects doesn't even have a texture for some reason. The pop-ins are very distracting, and something that really sucks is that cameras sometimes pop-ins only when you're close to them. You see the cones, but good luck shooting it from a distance. By the time you see it, it's just too late. All cutscenes are flat. I'm sure not much could be done about it, but it just adds to it, you know? One thing bad about it that I can say is that there's a recap of what happens in Hitman 1 and 2, and all you see is a black screen with white text. The game is super bare bone and missing a lot of features. In the original game, you can grab a ledge and move sideways, but they removed that. For content, they really put the bare minimum. You have the training, the main missions, and that's it. You don't get the contracts, you don't get the freelancer mode, you just finish the game and that's it. The reason why there's so many Hitman fans out there is because of the replayability of the game, but that's not the case here. The additional thing that they've added is dual wielding, but outside of cel-shaded graphics, that's all they'd advertised. It makes me wonder if they ended up borrowing code from the PSVR version to port this game, since I've also seen some bugs that are in both versions. The first trailer mentioned that the game was rebuilt for the Quest 3, but is it really? Heck, I think that I'd recommend the PC VR version more than this one, to be honest. And of course, you'll find a handful of bugs in there. I had freeze, a few blackouts, some button prompts just don't appear, and when you get in a crate, you have to physically crouch, or else your screen will go black. and for some reason, you'll be facing the wrong way. Apparently, we'll be getting a patch in 4 days. But why? Why are you making me eat disgusting beans before the main course? The patch may fix some things, but I don't think that it'll salvage this game. There's just too much to it that makes this game really not fun. Well, not fun is not the best way to describe it. If you play the game and tell me, Ninja Guy, I'm actually enjoying this game, what are you talking about? So, IO Interactive created an amazing game, and what you're enjoying is the foundation, you know, what the original developers did. What XR Games did here is worsen the experience of a top quality game, which can still be enjoyable. I feel like I've said enough, but let me continue. The aiming of the gun feels horrible. Also, for some reason, you get the silent assassin rating no matter what. This is usually such a fun challenge. But nope, just kill everyone in plain sight and you still get this ranking. You don't seem to be unlocking anything either. You're stuck with the basic stuff in your inventory. And picking stuff next to someone is a pain since the game will think that you're trying to pick up the body. Guys, XR Games is a great studio. They've made games such as Jurassic World Aftermath Collection and Zombieland VR, but this is really not acceptable. I don't know what happened, and I'm worried about the studio to be honest. They've had a demo for their next release at Gamescom for Zombie Army VR, and the game didn't even have sound. Like, what the heck? Go check out Gamertag's impression on it, it's not good. I really hope that they get their shit together because this is not the studio that I know, and they still have potential to make great games, but we'll see in the future. That's all I have to say about this game, guys. I really don't recommend it. Feel free to give it a try and refund it if it's not for you, but personally, my experience was awful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more VR game reviews, hit that like button if you find that my video was informative, and leave a comment and tell me your thoughts on the game. Bye everyone!